Hi, I'm Beverly Enos, and you're watching Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on your favorite cable station. I say your cable station, it is yours. And you get to come down, and if you'd like to learn to use the equipment or learn how to edit, find a second fun thing to do in life, if you're retired, or even if you're not retired, that would be great to have you. So it's here for you if you'd like to use it. Now today we're talking to Karen Pelletier from Karen's BarberShop right downtown in Georgetown. Been there since, we'll talk about that, but it's been a while, and we're going to let her have a go at it for today. Welcome.
Hi, how are you, Beverly?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Now, it is Karen's BarberShop, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and you've got one of the old-fashioned barber poles and everything.
Yeah.
How long have you been in town?
I've owned this business for 26 years.
And you've lived in town for how long?
I've lived in town for 33.
Where
My
did you come
son's
from before
35. Middleton, Danvers. I'm originally from Quincy. I'm from the South Shore, but I married a Salem boy, so it brought me up to the North Shore.
Came up North Shore. Now, you were a family that went to high school here in Georgetown.
My two children, my son Peter and my daughter Michelle, both graduate in 2005 and 2000.
A while back?
Georgetown High, yep.
Are they still
Peter
local,
was the first graduating class from the renovated high school in 2000, which was interesting for
I can imagine
him to go through for 4 years while it was under construction. But they did well. They both have bachelor degrees and working.
Good. So are they still around locally that you can get to
my
see
daughter
them?
lives in Newburyport. Michelle lives in Newburyport. Peter lives down in Sharon, Mass. He's the father of 3 children, so he's
oh my goodness,
closer to his wife's family. She needs support.
Days are so much fun.
I know, I love them.
Now I have a friend that's a hairdresser, and she told me once that she really wanted to be a barber, but there's a big difference between hairdressers and barbers. And she didn't have the qualifications. What's the difference between a hairdresser and a barber?
It's a state licensing process that you have to go through, and hairdressers are, I have both actually. I was a hairdresser for 6 or 7 years and then realized that all I really liked about it was cutting hair and not the chemical processing of perming and coloring and the whole artistic part of it. I'm more into the precision of cutting hair and not.
Okay.
If someone came to me and said, "So, what kind of haircut would look good on my face?" I stink at that. Like you show me
what color should I be today?
Yeah, you show me a picture and I can duplicate it if you have the right type of hair, but I wasn't good at the aesthetic part of it, I guess.
So a hairdresser cannot do barber work, which is different.
They kind of intertwine a lot of, you do learn how to color and do the chemical processes as a barber, but there's a straight razor shaving process with barbering that hairdressers are not supposed to do. The barber pole is also significant of a barber shop.
Now, why did you
a hairdressing shop
so you
cannot display that.
Because of the style of work that you prefer?
Yes.
Did you go to barber school?
I did. I did both. My son Peter actually was just a toddler when I went back to school and got my barber license. Realized then that that's what I like to do. So, and I knew I would eventually want to own my own business and wanted to cover all my bases and decide which business I would like to travel into. So,
what are the certification requirements beyond?
You have to go to school for 1,000 hours of training. It sounds like a lot, but if you go full time, 40 hours a week, it's about 7 or 8 months time to do it. If you have one, they shorten it for the second one, which they didn't in my case because it was so long ago that I had to do 1,000 for both. But I think it's 500 for
the second
second
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now your business has been in town for how many years?
26 years. I took over. It was vacant actually. There was a barber in there. His name was Harold.
Okay.
And he had retired and just walked away from it. And the Union Building Association is my landlord. That's the Masonic Temple is upstairs. So it was for rent. I was supposed to be going to get a job, and I was looking.
It was the distance of traveling.
Now my children were in town and the school system, and I didn't want to have to be 30 minutes away, which I was working in Swampscott prior to my shop.
It's a big leap to start your own business, though.
It is.
Funding and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. We had been into our house long enough that we were able to get a $10,000 equity loan.
Okay.
And I proceeded to spend that. My husband was a little dismayed by that and said, "So you were supposed to get a job."
But I'm going to have a job.
How are we going to pay this back? It didn't work. But I said, "Oh, we'll laugh at it someday." So.
Are you laughing?
I am.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah. We were laughing very shortly after I opened my doors. It's a great location, and
Yeah, it is.
people are really nice. So it's fun.
Now, I went in to talk to you earlier when I was putting this program together. And how many employees do you have? It seemed like there were a bunch of people.
I
in
have
there.
5 chairs in my shop, but they're not always active.
Okay.
The busier times are the weekend, obviously. I have 3 full-time employees that work 30 hours or better, and then I have 3 or 4 other people that just kind of come in for part-time.
Now, is it like a lot of hairdressers that they rent the chair from you, or did they just work for you?
That's basically how they
rent the chair.
it's a percentage of what they do in a day that they get paid. So
Okay.
I do have one hairdresser that does not have a barber license, but I'm licensed in both shops. So I pay the state for 4 licenses every year to maintain the business that I have, but it's worth it because it gives me flexibility to hire a cosmetologist or a barber as long as that's all they want to do is cut hair. I
Okay.
don't
right.
really have any other chemical work
Now,
going on.
Barbering, if that's a term even, that also includes things, shave and haircut, 2 bits type of.
Yeah.
So do you do shaves and things like that?
Yeah.
What type of things, type of other things other than haircuts do you
It's
do?
a lot of clipper work with haircuts. It's a combination of using clippers and scissors. We have hot lather machines, so at the end of the haircut we offer a clean shave on the back of a man's neck. Mostly everybody goes for that. They say it just feels good whether they think they need it or not.
I can imagine.
And we do facial shaves as well. I'm not real excited about doing them anymore myself, but I have a couple of employees that love to do it. So.
Now, you said men. Do you have women that come in as well?
Yes, I do. Actually, I have a lot of women from 4 Mile Village and Trestle Way, and all they want to do is get a haircut and not have the fuss and muss and simplicity of just coming in and getting it done and getting out. So,
When I was young, my mother used to take me to the barber.
Mm-hmm.
She'd take my brother and she'd take me. And it was, bangs and trim and things like that. And it was just so much easier than going anyplace
I think
else.
that's what it is. It's just, we don't insist on shampooing. I just have a squirt bottle that'll wet your hair down, and it's just, not a big production. If that's, we don't blow dry or curl an iron or style it afterwards. It's just, I'll dry it so you don't have icicles on your head after you
Especially
walked
in
out
the
the
winter
door.
time and or the spring.
Or
and the winter.
today.
Yeah. Now, ages. What are the ages of your clients?
Oh, anywhere from 2 to, or younger even, it just depends on how their hair is, and to 90 something, which they're so sweet. I love them.
It's quite a span, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of I work with elders, and sometimes they're like wonderful children with really good manners.
Yeah, they got great stories too.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Now, when I was growing up, my brother in the summertime always went in and they did a buzz cut because it was so much easier in the summertime not to have hot hair.
Yeah.
Do they still? Well, actually, how often do they do that all year round now? The styles
there's
have
quite
really
a
changed.
few that do it all year round, but it has gotten to be a tendency towards longer styles. When I first opened up my shop, bowl cuts were the rage.
The John type bowl cuts.
Yeah, like John Kennedy.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Like the little painter boy on the can. Okay.
No one really likes that anymore. So, but buzz cuts, whiffles. It's all the same. It's the lingo is sometimes
Flat
what you
tops.
have to interpret when someone asks for something, because what they're asking for may not be what you think.
Okay.
You know,
You have
a
pictures?
crew cut or yeah, I have pictures. I just use defining where they want it on their ears, where they want it on their forehead. I have a lot of, you know, younger kids that when they come in they want it buzz or they want a whipple. I pick up their hair on their foreheads and say, is this what you want to look like? Because there's nothing on your forehead when they finish with this, and a lot of times that changes their mind.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's a popular cut now too, is to have a little bit of a fringe that they put wax in and, you know, spike it up a little bit.
Okay, they still do that. I mean, I remember growing up, kids had flat tops, and they had some sort of a
stick.
wax
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something that they'd put in so that the top of it was just like absolutely flat, which is why it was called a flat top.
Yeah, yeah.
And they still use that
I
type
still
of-
do those too. Yeah, there's still some people that young and old that want to have that.
Now, sports haircuts. What do the kids usually do for sports? How short is it, or?
It's usually short, except hockey players seem to like it longer. The whole flipping curls underneath their helmets or something that I think professional hockey players probably started that trend, and so I find that a lot of hockey players don't like it too short, but a lot of kids, you know, they just want it off. A lot of them will have an initiation of the team for the beginning of their year, and they all do it to themselves. So sometimes we get, can you fix this?
Oh, you get the mistakes. They take just a set of clippers to their head.
It just doesn't go well, so it just needs a little evening out, or
A little repair work.
yeah, we just make it look a little bit more professional.
Okay. I've heard of that happening before somebody's wedding or things like that too, that, you know, all of a sudden they want everything just neatened up so that mom and dad will be happy with the pictures.
Yes,
Type
yes,
of thing.
Yeah.
So that goes on too. The hours that you have.
I work. Well, the shop is open Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 Tuesday and Friday, and we're open till 7 on Wednesday and Thursdays. Saturdays we're open from 7:30 until 12. I cut it short at noontime just because we're there 2 evenings late, so it gives people the option of coming in
After work or after school
yeah.
or after sports
after
for the
sports,
kids.
right? So
But Saturday's still one
Sunday
of the busiest
and Monday we're closed.
Okay.
It's concentrated because it's 7:30 to 12. There's a short window, but you can't predict. I wish I could.
days. But then you have probably most of the chairs are pretty full.
On Saturdays, 5 are working. Yeah, yeah.
And now I've seen movies of people hanging around the barbershop, and they just hang around and they talk to everybody and they read the paper. And does that type of thing actually go on?
Not in my shop,
No?
no, but I hear in Haverhill and Lawrence, there's a lot of that going on in the barbershops there. They're more neighborhood, I don't know, that's just the younger people coming into the business. Well, that's what they want to do.
So that's where
I don't
they
have a
hang out.
television in my shop. I can't stand having, excuse me, I know I'm on television right now, but having that on, because most of the time it's just not entertaining, so I like to have music in the background.
Now, the changes that you've seen in Georgetown, just in the town, before we go into the haircut specifically, but changes in town. You've been there a long time,
As
right
far as
downtown.
people are concerned,
People
or
and
traffic,
locations and,
or yeah.
all of the above. We don't often get somebody that's really had a business open in town for that long.
It's actually the winter that I opened. I opened at the end of January, and come spring that year, I opened my shades, and there was Jack Moultrie and a backhoe digging up my sidewalk.
Beginning of
Excuse
urban
me.
systems.
Yes.
Okay.
So my sidewalk was about 3 feet deep at that point, and it tripled now. So the street became further and further away. It slowed traffic down initially when I opened my business because of the construction and stuff. So I feel like it helped me because people had to stop and look. And I mean, even myself, I lived in town for quite a few years and never knew that Harold's Barbershop was there, being a barber. We were all walking our kids in the strollers to go to Bill's Bakery
Yep.
for coffee and
Bill's Style,
muffins.
yeah.
And I noticed that Harold was there then. I said, oh, I didn't even know that that was there. But so it did slow traffic down a little bit during the construction phase. And it was interesting to watch that all happen.
And now you've got a nice wide sidewalk, plenty of space there.
Yes, I do. It's trouble shoveling it, though. Last winter was.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because I like to give people a safe exit off the street onto the sidewalk, and the town just goes straight line. They don't go out to the street to get people off the sidewalk, so they have to
do
climb.
enough so that the school kids can go through.
They have to climb through those berms of snow that the snowplow pulls up, but I actually just hired Anderson Landscaping to do it for me last year because I'm just don't have it in me anymore to me or my husband to accomplish that, which last winter was a great year to start that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now, hairstyles. I say hairstyles, which is usually a woman's term, a female's term. But haircuts for the men, have they really changed that dramatically?
No, they haven't. They really haven't. It's my favorite expression for a haircut is a parochial school boys, which was exactly what it was. If you went to a Catholic grammar school, you had to have it tapered and on the back and off your ears and a direction to the side on top. So that's pretty much varying degrees of length, but that's pretty much the norm for haircuts and nowadays.
The guys seem to have it much easier, don't they?
They do and they don't, because if they want to change it, it's a much more painful process to go through because of growing. They have to grow out that length in order to do something different with it. So it's harder for them. But
does that happen often?
Yeah,
really?
It does actually. Yeah, especially now, a lot of the younger kids were going really short for sports or whatever, and now they want to have the style that you see
on television.
On television, like the voice and the singers and different actors and things that wear different hairstyles. Yeah, so it is a process, and I keep telling them, don't give up. It's okay. It will grow.
You just have to kind of trim it and keep it neat.
I try to keep the base of it looking neat and even, and then let the top layers grow out to get to that point. But
now, what is the best part of being a barber in Georgetown specifically?
The people.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I love interacting with people all the time. It's not work for me when I have people I enjoy in my chair.
How long do people generally stay with you? What's the longest?
Oh wow. I joke about some people stay with me longer than their wives. They do. Okay. They do get divorced and separated,
but they stay
with me. I had a gentleman that was a good friend of mine that recently passed away that was driving up all the way from Salem, that had lived in Georgetown prior to that, moved to Salem, but he still came from Salem to Georgetown to get his hair cut all the time. So, and yeah, I've had people from Peabody and Swampscott, and well, that's where I worked prior to this. So, I do have a couple of people from Swampscott, and actually, some of those people have moved up this way themselves. So,
so like a regular hairdresser, they follow you the way they would.
Yeah, I mean, I've been married for 38 years, and one of my customers is still a customer of mine. I used to cut his hair in my kitchen when my husband and I were first married in Danvers. So he still comes from Danvers to Georgetown every 4 weeks to get his hair cut. So, yeah, there is a lot of longevity with people. I get sad if I lose somebody for whatever reason, if they move away or their job changes. It's not as convenient for them anymore. But it's like week to week or month to month, you get involved in where their lives are at. And a lot of times I can't remember the person's name, but I remember the conversation and all about their lives better than their name itself.
Wow.
So
I think names kind of come and go as this.
I know. I've tried so many tricks to make myself
But you remember the stories and the haircut.
Yeah, exactly. They say, "Oh, you have such a great memory," and I'm like, "No, I don't really, because I can't remember your name."
Well, you just gave up your secret. I'll tell you.
I
Right
know.
now.
Well, I've told them I'm honest. As the day is long, it's like wear it on my shirt. That's the way I'm.
Into finances just for a little bit. Approximately, what's kind of the average price for, let's say, a regular style haircut?
A regular style adult men's haircut is $19 in my shop. I think it's pretty common price.
All right.
I haven't really called around to check what other people are charging.
And that would be for the really short buzz cut style too?
No, I give a discount. If it's just one clipper blade, it's $16.
Okay.
It's just a foop, foop, done. Yeah, you don't have to pick it up with your fingers and use scissors or take. It's based on time.
Okay.
How much time the hairstyle takes.
All right. So, awful lot of information. I never realized there was that much to it.
You got me talking.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to do
It's
here.
true.
So thank you. Thank you so much for coming. It's been fun having you here. It was
Well,
good to
that's
see
fun.
you again.
It was nice to see you too, Bev.
Don't forget, if you need a haircut, Karen's Barbershop, one with the pole, right downtown. I'm Beverly Enos. This is Spotlight Georgetown. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now.